Beatniks, the cool cats who refused to be square. They weren't a fad, they were a fuse. And the counterculture was the explosion. They sat in dim cafes, black turtlenecks hugging their frames, cigarette smoke curling like question marks above their heads. Fingers snapped instead of clapped. Jazz riffs spiraled into the night, and words spilled out like gasoline on concrete. America called them Beatniks. They called themselves alive. Post-war America was a land of neat lawns, two-car garages, and TV dinners, safe, clean, and suffocating. To the beats, that world was four squares. People blind to the deeper rhythms of life. They craved something wilder: meditation, sex, road trips. Amphetamines and poetry weren't vices. They were lifelines. They weren't trying to fit in. They were trying to break out. The beats spoke a language that sounded like jazz itself. Square, hopelessly mainstream. Cat, a fellow traveler who got it. Dig, to feel the truth deep down. Cool, not an outfit, not a pose, but a way of carrying yourself through the chaos. Their slang wasn't gimmick, it was identity, a verbal rebellion against Eisenhower's America. The holy trinity of hip. Every revolution has its prophets. For the Beatniks, they were riders with fire in their veins. Jack Kerouac, cruising highways and on the road, chasing freedom with jazz and Benzedrine. Allen Ginsberg, screaming hell into the night, tearing at the fabric of a society built on conformity. William S. Burroughs, slashing through reality itself in Naked Lunch, inventing a new kind of literature. They weren't just authors. They were outlaws, rewriting what it meant to live and to write. Bebop, the beatnik anthem. The Beatniks didn't just read differently, they listened differently. Bebop was their gospel. Charlie Parker's furious sax, Dizzy Gillespie's blazing trumpet, Thelonious Monk's jagged piano lines, Miles Davis's cool precision. This was the soundtrack of a culture breaking free. Like the beats themselves, bebop was improvised, defiant, unpredictable. You didn't just hear it, you felt it in your bones. When cool got busted. The 61 riots. By the early 60s, cops had had enough of the beatnik scene cluttering city parks and cafes. In San Francisco and LA, crackdowns sparked what the press dubbed the beatnik riots. It wasn't Woodstock, it was more like the opening salvo in the war between the establishment and the counterculture. To the beats, it was proof that the straight world feared them. Not for what they did, but for what they represented. Beatniks for sale. Then came the sellout. Madison Avenue packaged Beatniks as beret-wearing punchlines. TV skits featured bongo-playing buffoons. Coffeehouse chic became a suburban novelty. What had been rebellion got turned into a costume. For many beats, watching their movement turned into a marketing gimmick felt like betrayal. From beats to hippies. But movements don't die, they mutate. The beats' defiance, their spiritual hunger, their disdain for authority, all of it poured straight into the veins of the hippie generation. Only this time the colors got brighter, the music louder, and the politics sharper. LSD replaced Benzedrine, sit-ins replaced poetry readings, and the anti-establishment vibe exploded into a full-blown cultural revolution. The Beatniks were never meant to last. They weren't a brand. They were a spark. But that spark lit the fuse for the most explosive decade America had ever seen. They gave us a new language, a new literature, and a new way of seeing the world.